It takes a few seconds for Facebook. Hello, everybody. We are live. Usually, Facebook is giving us the signal that we are live later, like a few seconds later. And I know that you are wondering what are we doing here. This is an Art2Heart. I am so honored, so excited to present to you Patricia Spoon, who's an American master artist and an award winning artist. I am really honored because I've been looking forward to this moment for a couple of weeks already. We had this interview scheduled, and the universe wanted it to be today at this moment. So if you are tuning in, that means there is an incredible message coming for you. So make sure that you keep your ears and your heart open when you hear the artist. Hi, Patricia. Welcome to Art to Heart. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Like you said, I've been so excited as well to speak with you today. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for making it happen. There's always a lot of questions that people ask when it comes to when I'm interviewing artists. They want to know 100 things. So I'm gonna try to, reflect that and mirror my audience. One of the things that we always wonder, and what I enjoy asking this question because I always get totally different answers, and it's how do you get started in the art industry? What made you become an artist?
One of the things that inspired me to start creating art is self individualism. I think it's a great way to show um, and reflect self individuality through art and share that with people. Art is definitely a great way to show self expression. To show your thoughts creatively on canvas, to let other people see how you interpret self individualism.
Yes, absolutely. Were you an artist when you were a child? Were you attracted to the arts? Was that something that played a big role in your childhood?
Yes, I was always inspired by art and other people's art. I was um, always amazed how people can express themselves through art. So it's definitely other people's art that inspired me to be creative as well.
Where do you come from? Tell us a little bit about where you were born, where you grew up.
I was born in Fairfax, Virginia, and I lived there majority of my childhood. It was great. There, I was definitely exposed to a lot of culture, and through that, I saw different kinds of art from many different cultures, from many different countries. And I think as a child, it really stimulates your imagination to want to build a self individuality and create art yourself. So it's definitely, in my opinion, it was a great experience as a child to see other people's arts from different cultures. That's what inspired me to become an artist, to express my individuality.
Well, is there any culture that you feel that influence what you do, other than, of course, the American culture that you were surrounded?
I think honestly, I really enjoy all kinds of cultures. I enjoy looking at their art and just staying inspired. It's all very inspiring to me.
How do you call your style? How do you define your style?
My style, I would probably say, is very expressive of self individuality through colors, motion, very influenced by colors. I love colors that are in the environment. I love colors that other artists use to express themselves. I really am inspired by a lot of geometric patterns as well. I enjoy creating patterns that are used to create these beautiful arrays of colors.
Color has a tremendous influence in our mood, our feelings, our emotions. Are you looking to influence emotions when you create your work? Do you keep that in mind when creating an artwork?
I do. I do. I keep a very energetic mood of definitely motion, of exciting movement, sort of like an orchestra of colors inspire me to just reflect that on canvas.
That sounds beautiful. Something that I love about your work are patterns. The patterns appear in your work, but they are very spontaneous. You can, it's not a rigid geometric form. It's very loose, abstract, almost free, freehand. And these are patterns from nature. Are you, getting that from what you see in nature, or where do you find all these patterns? Where do you discover them?
Definitely in nature, the patterns, the way the schools of fish swim together, the way the stars are just in the sky in this beautiful pattern, the way the waves um, come up on the beach. It's just very lovely. I find it's like a symphony of nature that just creates this beautiful pattern of life.
Wonderful. That sounds beautiful. The symphony of nature. I feel like for me, it's also like, the grid. It's like the universe is this grid where we are also part of, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, how is a day in your studio? And we have a feedback from a lady. She's saying it's very interesting how you show colors on your work. Oh, yes, you're a colorist. So, how is a day in your studio? How is the regular routine for you? Do you have a discipline to paint a specific time every day, or is that something that you work according to how you're feeling?
I definitely plan. My art is very time consuming. So I definitely take the time to plan out the time in my studio. Uh, s- Basically, my studio is definitely, and if I plan to be in my studio, it's definitely going to be for a while. So it's definitely something I plan out.
Sounds great. And you get lost there per hours, right?
Yeah, but when you're really focused and you have a mindset of what you want to express, it really time really passes by and you think it's normal, but really you've been in there hours and you really haven't felt like you've been in there hours. So when you have something to express and you're really set on your goal, on reflecting it on canvas, I think that really time is just, the same.
Right, right. I have had experiences similar to that where I go into a studio and, if there's nothing, if I'm away from the world, I could be there for more than a day, not eating anything and not hungry and not feeling it, right? It's
Right.
that intense, right? And I can
Right.
see, yeah. For me, I think this is easier for, I don't know if I'm wrong, and if there's any figurative artists, guys, don't get offended. I just love abstract art in the sense of getting lost. And I think when you're creating abstract, when you are creating expressionism, it's easier because you have to think less and you are more spontaneous. It's more work, fluid. It's like from
Right.
spirit to here. You're not thinking of shades, or you already had it, but then you are expressing, and you can get lost in there. You can get lost for hours. Is that your experience? I like, that's what I get when I see your work.
Yeah. When you have a feeling of self expression and you're ready to express it. You've built up this strong, confident person. And I feel when I go in the studio, I am ready. And I feel like I'm in there for hours, but not, sorry, I don't feel like I'm in there for hours, but I'm really in there for hours. So it's
Right.
definitely the opposite.
It's like time flew and you have no idea
Yeah,
what happened. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I think it all has to do with being confident in what you're trying to reflect on canvas. If you feel you're confident, you know what you want to put on canvas, when you're in the studio, time just passes by and you just don't realize it. Be like, oh, I think I've been in here a while.
Yes. Yes. Now you touched something really interesting. I love to speak about confidence. And as an awarded artist, that gives you confidence, of course. But of course, working in your work for, time, and that's something that you develop with time. Is there any tip that you can give artists who are emerging? Self doubt is always there. I always say, no matter how confident you are, self doubt is in the back of your mind, hidden like a little monster.
Yeah, I would say definitely be definitely confident because when you start to prepare how you're going to express yourself, it's your reflection is a lot clearer. Your thoughts are a lot clearer if you have a firm confidence in what you're trying to express. It definitely shows on your canvas when you're done. So confidence is definitely important to have, and it takes your self individualism to create this confidence to be able to express yourself on canvas.
And I hear that you mentioned individualism a lot. I totally understand that, and it's the encouragement of developing your own style. It takes a lot of courage to get there, right? It takes a lot of guts, to walk away from the mass or what you're learning in school or the trends and just focus on your own thing. How did that work for you?
It worked for me. Definitely influences, gathering my influences and organizing them to reflect them on canvas. So I've had a lot of influences around me, like nature, colors, movement. So I've gathered all my influences and I have my inspiration. So now I'm ready to go in my studio and I'm really confident on what I want to show on my canvas. So I think it takes definitely um, getting those elements together and just having that confidence that you're going into your studio, you know what you want to express, and definitely confidence is a major major good point on being an artist.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's absolutely important. Absolutely. But I think I do believe that you need to develop your own style, discover your feelings. What
Right.
influences you? What do you want to express so that you can get that confidence? So, what influences you?
A lot of influences, like I said, colors in nature, geometric patterns, emotions, moods. Um, Definitely, I would say I have a lot of inspiration, and being an abstract artist, I think I'm just one of those abstract artists that I just absorb everything that is colorful, that is geometric patterns, that I just point out and collect them and organize them. And then I go into my studio and then I'm like, I'm ready to paint. And I'm just ready to express and reflect what I feel and what my influences have made me feel.
Yes, absolutely. I always say that the artist takes everything in their life experience and puts it on the canvas. So even when the artist is focusing on creating colors or geometric forms or figures, the artist is actually painting their life. Do you agree with me?
Yes, there people have a lot of influences. It could be emotions, it could be life situations, it could be some people actually go outside and paint physically outside. That's where their influences are. That's what makes them confident is, some going outside and painting nature. And some people just find their confidence that way.
Yes, absolutely. And Mother Nature has that gift that, I don't know, wraps us with love. And it's like we feel it, right? When you go out
Right.
there, it's like it's inevitable. We feel it. We feel protected, supported. It's like that strength that comes from grounding ourselves with nature. It's
Right.
incredible. Do you
It
practice
is.
that too? I take it you do, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so excited, super happy to have shared your story with us. There's so much more to discover about you. And
Thank
I'm
you for
really
having me.
super happy to announce that you are an award winning artist of the Arja
Thank
Awards
you. Thank
for
you so
making the
much.
world a better place. I love that. I love that artists are taking a stand to share the message, not just to create for the
Right.
sake of creating, is creating with the intention of sharing a message that speaks to us. I take from you that you focus on individualism. Is there something that happened in your life experience that push you, that inspire you to focus on this subject?
I would say it's just, I would say that being an individual is important to me. So it's more about an importance of being able to express individualism, and it's very important to me.
Yes.
So it's become definitely a dedication to express that through my art.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for doing
Thank
that,
you.
and choosing that is so important, not just for us, for the younger generations to hear
Right,
that, right? When, of course, teenagers, that's an age where everybody wants to see what is trending, even adults. What's trending, what's happening, let me do that. And walking away from that, I always say, takes courage to be unique, to be
right.
yourself, right?
Of course.
It is tremendous work that you're doing. I congratulate you. I can't wait
Thank
for
you.
to release that issue, to have you on the award ceremony. I mean, there's so much coming out for you. What else is coming out for you at the end of this year?
Uh, Nothing much. I think that's the main thing I'm excited about is the Spectrum exhibit is
Yes,
definitely, I'm so excited about that. Thank you so
super.
much for having me.
Thank you. And thanks for being humble, because this is
Thank you.
incredible. Being awarded is incredible. And I congratulate you again.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody out there who has been watching. I want to share this because I want you to follow Patricia on her Facebook page. Let her know what you think. Support the artist, guys. It is so important to hear what other people think of our arts, to get that support, and to hear that you receive something special, a message from seeing her work, from listening to her words. So thanks everybody for watching.
Thank,
I'll see you next time. Thanks, Patricia. I send you a
thank you
big, big
so
hug.
much for having me.
And everybody out there, happy, happy Friday. And don't forget to get and stay inspired. Alrighty. Yeah.